Hey everyone, it's Mr. Kier. Not on the iPad, not a fancy intro screen. Still having some trouble getting the Clips app to work, and as far as like having enough space on the iPads. So I'm at my desk, but I'm not after that. I'm usually in your room. And I want to wrap up our 5 senses activity. We've been on it for a little bit of time now. And the thing is, when we're at school, we really can't use our sense of taste very easily. Sometimes our sense of smell, just because we have the masks on. So today we're going to do some different activities that we wouldn't normally be able to, that I think you can do at home too. Before we get to those, I wanted to practice sight. When we don't have our sense of sight, our other senses kind of have to get kicked into overdrive. So I want to try some basic activities that you could do at home without looking. So we're going to take our sense of sight away. So I don't have a blindfold, but I do have my mask here. I left my blindfold at home. Bandana, you could even use a shirt to tie around that way. So I'm going to take my glasses off first. Look a little different that way. And I'm going to take these off too. It feels a little bit weird not being able to see, but I definitely can. I'm moving my nose right here. My first activity that I wanted to try is I wanted to draw a picture of myself without looking. I'm taking my sight away, and it's already hard enough to draw while I'm able to see, but I remember to make sure no peeking, no peeking. So I'm going to grab my pencil now. And I'm going to keep this down. I'm going to even move. I'll do it first like this. So I'm going to try and draw a picture of myself. I've got my paper here. And I'm going to start with my head. And that's kind of like a circle. I'm going to do my neck. My body. I should probably add my face too. I'm going to do a couple little eyes. Alright, I'm going to hold it up. I don't know what this looks like. You know that I haven't been cheating, but you haven't been able to see what I'm doing here. Let's open this up. Ooh, that's not too bad. If I can see. Oh, my hand's over there. There's my feet. Looks like I forgot to draw an arm. Not too bad for the face though, but look how my head is open like that. Now I'm going to try it again. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to flip my paper over. And I want to see, I'll put the camera on. And I promise you I'm not looking. I'll do my head again. Come down from my neck. Here's my shirt. I forgot hands, so I have to go back where I think my hand would be. Do my other hand here. Draw my face. Maybe a little bit of hair that I still have left. Turn it this way. Whoa. It looks like my face literally melted off. My leg doesn't look too bad, and one of my arms. But I'm practicing drawing without using my eyes, my sense of sight. Another activity that we could try, I'm gonna move my camera up. Ooh, here I am. Is stacking blocks with your eyes closed. It's also very hard to do. Sometimes even with your eyes open. Now, the ones I just have little cubes, but if you're anything like me, you've got a lot of blocks at home. You could use Legos, Connects, just regular blocks. I know Mrs. Kier loves the ones from, I don't know, Etsy or something like that. They're probably put this family through college. All the blocks we buy with like individualized letters on there. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but I'm going to move this down. And these are my blocks. This is going to be extra hard, but I'm an old man, so I need that kind of challenge in my life. I'm going to try and stack these up with my blindfold on. Alright, I'm going to tip down a little bit by my desk here and see if I can do it. That way you can see my blindfold on and the blocks. Please don't laugh too much. I'm taking away my sense of sight for another activity that you guys could do right at home. Alright, I'm going to see how high I can get this, if at all, stacked up without looking. Alright, I have to find out where they are. They're right here. Alright, I'm going to start with my pile right there, and I'm going to start with one. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go right like that. This is something you definitely want to take your time with. Okay, I feel it there. I'm using both hands. I don't know what's more difficult, sitting on my knees here with my old bones, or trying to stack this without looking. I think I have 3 or 4. Keep going like this. Oh, another one. I thought I was stacking it on there. This feels too low. That doesn't sound good. So I think I got 3 or 4 on there for my stack. I knocked a couple on the ground. But definitely the block stacking challenge without using your sense of sight is a good, easy way just to get to know that sense a little bit. One of those senses that we don't often get to try at school sometimes because we don't have blocks necessarily for everybody. But you can do it at home too. Alright, for our next activity, we're going to involve taste. And again, this is one that's awesome to do at home. We can't do it at school just because of all the allergies, and it's hard. You don't want me to bake anything. It'll turn out tasting like meatloaf, even if it's supposed to be donuts. So we're going to work on taste today. And I have some different items. I put them in small cups. And if you don't have small cups at home, you could use like a bowl that you have. Maybe you put chips in, kind of line them up this way. It doesn't have to be exactly like Mr. Kier's. So I'm going to move my camera down a little bit. Very fancy here. So some very different looking items in the cups here. And some of them have a very strong smell to them also. So I'm using my sense of smell, this big old nostril right here. You can do a blind taste test and cover your eyes up a little bit and see what they taste like. Depending on if you want to use your fingers or a spoon, I think a spoon might be the best choice. So I'm going to grab one of those real quick now. Alright, using the power of technology, I have my spoon in my hand. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to taste these items in my cups. So what you can do to try out your sense of taste is you could have mom or dad set up, or grandma or grandpa, different cups with different either spices in them or different small amounts of food in here to see, to try and, you know, trick your taste buds a little bit. If you want to lick your fingers, I guess you could. It doesn't sound very sanitary to me, so that's why I'm going to just use this spoon here. I think I'm going to opt for blind taste test. So not only am I going to take away my sense of sight, but I'm also going to be testing my sense of taste with my mouth also too. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to get down again. Hopefully I don't knock over my cups, but you never know. We'll move this camera down a little bit here. And I'll take my glasses off. This one, no peeking. Alright, I'm gonna go for my first one here. You could even have them mix it up, even guide your spoon. Oh, I think I missed it. You can tell I'm not peeking. It's crunchy. A little sweet, but not very sweet. That was my first one here. I'm gonna go for my second one. Oh, very bitter. Not pleasant at all. That has to be pepper. That's just straight pepper. I'm gonna need some water soon. Let's try this one now. This is better. I still taste a lot of pepper in my mouth from before, so it might be a good idea, come to think of it, to take a drink in between each time, kind of cleanse the palate. I like this taste a lot. So I'm gonna take a little peek here, look around. I'm gonna get my sip of water. Oh, that's so much better. The second one was the pepper. This one, I'm not really sure what it is, but I enjoyed it. Get it on the spoon. That's not bad. I'll go for this one now. Ooh, that is really spicy hot. I think that's the cayenne pepper. Woo! I'm gonna go for this one next. This has some spice to it, but it's not spicy at all. I think this is garlic. Garlic for sure. So I just did my blind taste test here. The only time I peeked was just to make sure I was getting my spoon inside here. But if you didn't put these in yourself, you might not even know what they are. I'd say the roughest one, honestly, was the pepper. I think I got a big spoonful of that. So you definitely don't want to put things on there that are really going to hurt you. If you don't like spicy things, then I would not use it at all. I like medium spice, not a whole lot, but we just did another activity where not only do we take away our sense of sight, but we really focused on our sense of taste. And these are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I chose. I mean, you could line up 10 things, but I think that would get really confusing. And it would be just a fun game to try, even maybe at dinner time, where you close your eyes and take a bite of something, or have mom or dad give you a bite, and then see if you can guess what it is on your plate like that. But you're testing your sense of taste and those taste buds in your mouth. I'm not sure if you were able to hear me or not without my microphone on, so forgot I didn't have it on there. My first one, this was the sprinkles, and it wasn't as sweet as I thought it would be. I was surprised. My second one was pepper. That I thought was the roughest, just because I got a heaping spoonful of it. The one I think I liked the most was the garlic, which Mrs. Gear loves her garlic. I always joke that she likes her meal with garlic. Garlic is like the main course. Salt was the next one here. It was sea salt grinder that I used. I think I got a little bit of the sprinkle mixed in there. And we also had the cayenne pepper, very spicy. I usually like to put this on my eggs in the morning, but not this much, just a little bit. So we used our sense of taste here, and I also took away my sense of sight. The only time I did peek was to make sure I didn't knock these over. If you use bigger bowls that won't knock over as well at home, that might be a good idea. And if you couldn't hear me before, I said that you could even try this at the dinner table. Maybe try and close your eyes and have someone take a fork of something and see if you can guess what it is. It's a lot harder than you think, because when you take one of your senses away, you rely on another sense that way. You could also cover your eyes and try and see if you can smell. Very faint, sweet smell. Now the pepper, ooh, I could smell that like right here. I didn't even have to put my nose up to it. So you could do a smell test also with different substances. This has a garlic smell to it. Salt, I don't get a strong smell at all with this. So salt would be tough to guess. The spicy cayenne pepper, I'm smelling it very carefully because I don't want it to get up inside my nose. It has a smell. It has a spice smell to it. But if I were to just smell it right like that, I don't know that I'd say, oh, that's cayenne pepper. But I know it would be some kind of spice. So for our next activity, we're going to do one that involves touch. So I'm not going to use my eyes very much for this one, but let me get my bag and I'll show you what we're going to touch today. Alright, I have several items in here that if you were doing this at home, you could have a brother, a sister, someone help you and put items in here that you don't know what they are. Let me move this up a little bit. There we go. So I do know what these are because I put them in, but it would be more fun if you didn't know what they were and you had to feel around. I'm using my sense of touch. I'm using my hands to feel around in here and see if I can guess what some of the different objects are. So I'm going to move this down a little bit, maybe even more. Alright, so I'm feeling here. Well, this feels like an action figure, I think. But what kind of action figure? Because you might have a lot at home. This feels like the wrestler guy that I have. Whoop. It's like a lucha libre right here. Feels like it could be a worm. Oh, it's actually a snake. But it did have that feel almost like a worm. Let's grab another item. Was this a nail? Let's see. Oh, I peeked. Sorry. It's a pencil. Some kind of block. Maybe like a building block. Battery. This feels like some kind of, like a toy. Is it a horse? Cow. I was close. Kind of close. But I'm using my sense of touch now on my hands. Ooh, this feels like some kind of string. What was a wire? Which was close. That's all I feel now. This was a little bit easier. I'm going to put the items back in, and you could put different items in for the second round. I think getting like maybe 7 or 8 items is a good amount to guess from. A way to trick yourself is what I'm going to do next. You'll see what I put on my hand. I've got a sock, and I'm going to try and see what the item is in here using the sock. I may or may not have just taken this off my foot right now. So we're going to try and feel around and see if I can guess what these items are. You might want to try the sock method first. That'll make it even more difficult the first time if you don't want to try and change the items. So I'm feeling around in my bag here. Pencil. The sock kind of inhibits my fingers. I'm not able to feel around as well as I could. Oh, I didn't find this one before. It's like a keychain. See, I feel a hole in it. Oh, I dropped it. It's hard to grab. Oh, there was the snake. My cow, that I thought was a horse. Oh, this is the one. The scissors. That was hard to feel through here to see what it was. So I used the sock on my hand to try and trick me from being able to decipher what it was. And another thing you can do not only is touch our hands, you could try putting your foot into the bag very carefully depending on what you have. I'm not going to show you my nasty feet, but it would be one thing to try and see, like, just with your feet, could you tell? Now, make sure you don't use anything sharp. The scissors in there I would probably take out, but you could put maybe a small stuffed animal, or maybe one of those toys that you get out of the machines at Giant Eagle or Walmart. Something like softer that's not going to destroy your foot on there. And if you do put your foot in, put it in very gently. So we all know the pain parents do of stepping on like a Lego in a bare foot. So we don't want to hurt our feet at all. So far today we tried to mess with our eyes and tried to trick them with some activities, drawing a picture, stacking blocks. We worked on our sense of taste, tasted different things, and I also covered my eyes for that one too. And I worked on sense of touch, where I tried touching different items, even with a sock on, see if that would trick me at all. I used my sense of smell briefly when I sniffed some of the items that I had in the cups, but you can do a whole lot of different things. You could smell perfume, you could add different things that way. We've done a lot of activities with hearing so far in school, where we did the sound bingo, we went on a sound scavenger hunt in the woods. So that's why I didn't do any sound ones today, because I feel like we've done that a lot. But when I've reviewed in class, a lot of kids are getting to know all their different 5 senses. They're doing an awesome job. So I hope you guys check this out, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye, guys.